So we return to the place that the train has rested at, with Mr. Vole creating the proposition that he and the other smaller animals want to stay there.
We can stay here. I've found us a home. Soft earth, shady side of hedge, lots of grass, and very near the fields. What more do you want?
Water?
A trickle running through the ditch. Yeah, but you'll be breaking up the party. Badger's not going to like it, you know.
Hedgehog's right. He won't.
Well, he'll just have to lump it, won't he?
Why don't you just lump it and live with it, you furry turd? This is where they introduce one of Vole's more annoying traits, which is pretty much disagreeing with everything that Badger says. It was a minor thing in some of the earlier parts of the series, but now it's really played up, particularly with the smaller characters running out of steam. I admit that in a situation like this there may be an uprising amongst smaller and more stressed members, but the way Vole makes it come out is as if he's trying to put Badger in his place, and it doesn't help we have to keep listening to his demands in his annoying voice, over and over and over again.
We are staying where we are. I insist on a vote. Fair enough. The proposal is we all stay here. Hands up, all who say aye. It's unanimous.
Hooray!
The motion is carried.
Hooray!
Poor Badger. Who'd be a leader, hmm?
And he gets so confused. I wonder if we should help things along. What do you say?
I'm always glad to be of service.
Yet more conniving from our favourite dastardly duo. Meanwhile, Badger and Mole try and take the opportunity to have breakfast, before they're rudely interrupted.
Just as well. Looks like you have guests.
Morning. How are the little ones today?
They're very well, thank you, Badger. Badger, as elected representatives of the Mouse and Vole party...
Oh great, now it's like a full-on democracy. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm never going to vote for any political party that tries to push its policies for its own benefits. Now if you excuse me, I need to go and show support for the Tories. Alright, what's he actually got to say?
We have come to tell you... well, more to ask your permission, really. Shut up.
You know, voles are generally bigger than field mice. Maybe he's just compensating for his side through an authority dispute.
That after due consideration and discussion, the Vole and Mouse party have voted unanimously to stay here.
Are you telling me that you don't want to go on to White Deer Park with the rest of us?
If only Fox were here.
Speak of the devil. Oh, and look, people's faces. It's the first time we've seen those properly. Yes, Fox is back, with no explanation of how he survived, where he disappeared to, or how he got on that boat. But we've got bigger problems right now, like running like a bat out of hell. Now!
He's behind those boxes.
Meow.
A cat? It was just a cat all the time.
Some cat.
How dumb are these people when they see in plain sight that it's a fox, but they think it's a cat just because they hear one? But speaking of which, the cat comes out to have a word with Fox.
Can I help you, Mr. Cat? Remove your eye, for instance?
I'm not a cat.
And I'm not a fool either.
No offence meant. I take it this is your territory.
Who wants to know?
I've come to ask for sanctuary.
Sanctuary? Oh.
This cat's got some balls, backing a creature 3 times bigger than it into a corner, Just bite its head off, Fox. Unless you're worried about it pissing on you and coughing up hairballs, it's not really going to do much back at you.
Bloody things. I hate those bloody cats. The way they meow and they piss everywhere. And their shit smells just bloody awful.
I suppose you're hungry too, eh?
Starving.
There's some meat over here. Yesterday's. Smells a bit. That bother you at all?
Just how I like it.
Personally, I wouldn't settle for anything less than the best, freshest, most expensive, leanest cuts. Disgusting.
This whole scene feels like a Ray Winston meets Hugh Grant situation. But the cat seems to be able to help out Fox. With a price.
Wait a minute. Not so fast. I'll let you eat this lovely bit of meat. What do you do for me, eh?
What do you want me to do?
Well, I suppose you could do my duties for me. Keep the humans happy.
Duties?
Yeah. Every morning, I lay out a neat line of dead mice, rats, and so on. For inspection, you see. Prove I'm worth keeping.
And what do the humans do for you in return?
Feed me! Not that luck, of course.
All right. I'll catch a few rats for you.
You eat up, Fox, me old mate. You eat up. You are eating up, aren't you?
So after Mouthy the street cat is finished with Fox, we cut back to the train and their problems. And to be honest, I'd rather listen to Vole right now than that bloody cat, which is ironic considering they have the same voice actor.
Whether Fox is here or not is of little consequence. We must decide what is best. Clearly, the field mice, as good parents, must do the best they can for their children. And if that means staying here, then that is what they must do.
Yeah, the mice are the top-notch in parenting from the Animal Kingdom. I'd stake my life on the fact that they could take care of their young. But enough about good parenting, back to Alex the cat and his Droog Fox.
I don't know. You foxes. Always boasting how good you are at hunting, but you're always scavenging, aren't you? I get no peace from you, like, especially winter nights. Terrible.
Is it safe here at night, then?
Supermarket closes in the evening. Mind you, delivery lorries come very early in the morning.
So, could I stay here?
See, here's where the point of the character of Fox starts to become mixed for me. He's perfectly willing to abandon all of his friends and live an easier life without them. I have conflicting opinions on this. One's the obvious one, which is how can he abandon all of his friends who he saved multiple times, and this is supposed to be our main character, the one we're supposed to support and root for. On the other hand, we saw how frustrated Fox was getting with his duties and the amount of responsibility he held was getting to him, so the thought of trying to trade in that responsibility for an easier life without second guessing even the idea of abandoning that responsibility is something that I think that we've all done and even actually just thought of in our lifetime, which makes Fox a more of an identifiable and relatable character. He definitely makes a change from most leader characters who are almost cartoonishly dedicated to their roles, which makes them a bit boring and not very identifiable. Don't get me wrong, characters like Leonardo from TMNT show that you can have a character like that and still work and be likeable. But this is going a little bit more to make him a bit more complex of a character, more selfish and more human. And let's be honest right now, in this group of characters, who hasn't been selfish so far? Despite that though, Mouthy seems to have negated a few details in his deal, and Fox gets picked up in a box and put in the back of a truck. Just goes to show you, you can't trust a Cockney cat. Or a Geordie fox. Right, Todd? Speaking of selfish though, how's the train's dilemma coming on?
Their father's not there to protect them, and Adam...
Not now, Moley.
Oh, dear.
Perhaps you should sing to them. Shh! Hazel might hear. Perhaps I can be of some assistance. I've had a lot of practice at mesmerizing, you know.
Yes, another element that could be arguably stolen from the Jungle Book. The fact that Ada can seem to hypnotize people into sleeping. Watch.
First I sway gently from side to side. What's going on? Then I start saying over and over very to sleep. Don't panic.
Help! Get Badger!
You are going to sleep. Don't panic. You are going to sleep.
It's clear that Kaa did it better, although at least she didn't seem to do some sort of slightly predatory song about how she's going to eat a little kid. Kind of. So after a full scare on Ada eating the baby mice, we then get back to the political debate of safety versus unity. Because every kid loves political debates, don't they? Especially a load of bollocks from a walking mass of pubic hair. Trust me when I say that I'm sparing you by skipping most of the boring parts of this episode. If you really wanted to see how it turns out, then go and watch the episode for yourself. Otherwise, let's move on. So the animal train decides to move on, with the mice and voles actually staying there. But Ada is still asleep, so they need to figure out a way to wake her up. By making our ears bleed, of course.
I know. Weasel, you're wanted.
Someone wants me. Pull the other one.
Badger wants you to sing a song.
Well, why didn't you say so? You wanted me?
Did we?
Yes, Badger. Weasel's going to sing a song to Ada to wake her up.
To wake her? Oh, I see.
Charmed, I'm sure.
You know what to expect here now, my friends, so prepare yourselves. In 3, 2, 1...
Beautiful dreamer, wake unto me. Starlight and dewdrops are waiting for thee. Sound of the rude world heard in the night.
Ah! Shut up! So after Weasel's finally stopped singing, we eventually say goodbye to the mice and voles. But this isn't going to be the last time we see them, even in this episode, but we'll get to that when that comes. Meanwhile, Fox is being taken away, but he manages to escape and get back to the countryside, where he runs into a horse that sounds suspiciously like Michael Palin.
Hello there. Nice day.
Very pleasant.
Nice to see a friendly face, I must say. Can I offer you some refreshment?
Grass isn't my favourite food, but I wouldn't mind a rest in the shade. What's so funny?
Bit ironic, really. Been hunting foxes all my life, and here I am now, chin-wagging with you.
Hunting?
Yeah, lot of that round here. Word of advice. Don't hang a bite round here. Hunting country. Miles around. Wouldn't like to think of you, you know.
This foppish, hairy thing seems to be an omen for what's going to happen in the next episode yet again. But on to more important matters, Fox decides to get back to his train because he seems to have found his priorities now and sets off per the horse's instructions.
Don't worry. I'm only passing through. On my way back to my friends.
Friends? You've got friends? Oh.
Yes. I wonder how they're getting on. Is that one of us?
Get under cover. Here, you're the fastest of us. Go back and see what's happened to the field mice.
Try.
Holy fucking shit! What the hell is that? I know this show can get dark sometimes, but I didn't think we were going into Plague Dogs territory here. I mean, seriously, there's blood coming off of the branches. What kind of producer thinks this is an appropriate thing to show to kids? And this could rival the Anthropophagus and a Serbian film on the two worst things to ever happen to a newborn baby in media. Of course, the animals are naturally horrified by this, and Hare rushes back to the oak tree.
Thank goodness you've come, my poor babies.
Here! Here!
Over here! Don't worry. We'll get you out of here. Badger! The babies have all gone! But
I'm sorry, Badger. I was wrong.
It was brave of you to want to stay with the mice.
Well, anyway, I think we'd all vote to go on with you now.
I should think so. I wouldn't even want to blow my nose without being around Badger. Wouldn't we now, Vole? Of course, the mice and voles decide to move on to White Deer Park with the rest of the group now. No doubt traumatised and vomiting all over the place from what they've just seen. I still can't believe that a show would show a bird impaling baby mice on thorns. Even Screamer Claus would say that that's too much. We cut back to Fox finishing telling his story to the horse, who of course says that he's heard of them. But this time he says that he doesn't believe the crow that told him the story. Now that I can believe.
Well, yes, this crow told me a tale of a bunch of travelling animals. Nobody believed him, of course. Suppose they must be missing you.
yes, I've rested here long enough. Sun's getting high.
Yes, better hurry on. Find a safe hiding place for the rest of the afternoon.
Thanks, horse.
Good luck. And watch out for the hunt.
So Fox moves on and the train are contemplating their losses.
I blame myself.
There are 3 ways of acting wisely. The first is through meditation. This is the noblest. Second, by imitation. This is the easiest. Third, by experience. This is the bitterest.
I can vouch for that. It's not like he could do anything other than the second one, but now he can try it by the third one now.
Fox would never forgive me.
It's time we all accepted Fox is dead.
I don't believe you. So there. He's alive and making his way back to us.
Ironically, he's right, despite the melodrama.
We must move on out of this terrible place.
So the animals try to move on and forget what they've seen, as will I at this point. Meanwhile, Fox has found his silver lining.
No, please don't get up. Poor thing. You look exhausted.
I'm sorry. Is this your Earth?
Yes, but you're welcome to use it. I do have several others. Actually, I was just going to hunt. Are you hungry?
Starving. Haven't eaten since yesterday.
Then your wits will be sharp. Care to join me?
Things are looking up.
Oh, you sly bastard. This was definitely an all-over-the-place episode, both in story and theme, though the scenes with Fox are great, even though some of the characters he comes across are a bit annoying. But this sort of sub-story of him trying to get back to his friends fills us with this growing achievement towards him, and we want to see him get back to his friends, despite some of the things that he said and will say later on. Badger's reluctance and lack of command as leader emphasise this and make us root for both of them, and it makes the events that happen later all the more shocking, because it heightens the urgency of Fox getting back to help his friends out of danger. Speaking of which, this was probably the most brutal death we've had so far on the show, and the most disturbing too. I think even some adults would have trouble watching this, but I feel that this might have been going too far. All we needed was to see the bird of prey take the mice away, and that would have been enough. The image of the mice impaled on the thorns is one of the most desensitizing things I've ever seen in how foul it is. But like I said, there's a lot of rather boring moments in this episode too, with the political bait and Toad's lack of confidence make it a bit of a chore to sit through. And I know what they're doing here. They're trying to lull the audience into a false sense of security to make the horrific elements seem less foreseeable. But that still makes it a bit of a bore, even on rewatches. Bear in mind that I've had to watch these episodes several times, and this part of the series is always one I have to regret to get to. Overall, this episode definitely did a great job in giving us some great moments with Fox again, as well as some gory highlights, but the rest of it feels a bit dull and a bit dragging. But we're definitely made up for it in the next episode, where things really kick off, and we're introduced to a character that has gone a long way to ingrain herself into the hearts of almost every fan of this show. You'll see what I mean when we get there.